Tonight's debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump will be the first between sitting and former presidents. And an opinion on an Idaho abortion case briefly appeared on the U.S. Supreme Court's website yesterday. Good morning. I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. The first presidential debate of the 2024 election season gets underway tonight in Atlanta. NPR's Windsor Johnston reports it's the first time a sitting president and a former president will meet to debate.
President Biden will come face-to-face with his Republican challenger, former President Donald Trump, for their first time in about 4 years. Justin Crow is a professor of political science at Williams College. He says with the polls tightening, both candidates will be looking to seize upon some momentum.
To try to put the attention squarely on what a second Trump term would mean for America, and likewise the Trump campaign trying to paint the last 4 years as less desirable, less prosperous.
Immigration, abortion, and inflation are the issues most likely to take center stage at tonight's debate. Windsor Johnston, NPR News.
A U.S. Supreme Court opinion in a case involving emergency abortions in Idaho appeared briefly on the court's website yesterday. It suggested the nation's high court may be preparing to overturn part of the state's near-total ban on the procedure. Boise State Public Radio's Julie Lucata has more.
First reported by Bloomberg News, it's not clear if the leaked text represents the court's final opinion. Susie Keller, the head of the Idaho Medical Association, which represents about 70% of all physicians in the state, said they were hoping for an outcome along these lines. However,
that doesn't go far enough in providing that very clear reading of the law and stability that physicians need in order to feel safe in taking care of patients.
In a statement, the anti-abortion advocacy group Idaho Family Policy Center said it was disappointed by the unofficial ruling. For NPR News, I'm Julie Dugueta in Boise.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court is scheduled to issue more opinions this morning. There are some big cases still outstanding. One of them is whether a former president is immune from criminal prosecution for his actions as president. Donald Trump is accused of trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election. The U.S. ambassador to China is lambasting Beijing for letting Chinese companies send components and support to Russia. Ambassador Nicholas Burns says this helps Russia in its war against Ukraine.
And our critique of China, of the People's Republic of China, is that it is not neutral, but has effectively sided with Russia in this war.
Burns says the Chinese companies are giving Russia technology for missiles and other weapons. China insists it's not providing direct aid to Russia, but the Chinese and Russian leaders have maintained strong ties and pledged to beef up trade between the countries. Emergency officials in communities in southern Minnesota are paying close attention to a dam that has partially failed. Heavy rains swelled rivers in recent days and triggered the dam's partial failure. A nearby home collapsed into a river. Minnesota's governor says he may call a special legislative session. This is NPR.